Hey, this is Alan Troutman, and you are listening to WithoutYourHead.com. I don't know how you can listen without your head, but there you are.
Welcome to the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head. I'm Nasty Neil, and I'm joined by legendary Scream Queen, Linnea Quigley.
Hey there, everyone. I'd scream if I could, but the neighbors would jump in here and do something.
Yeah. They might call the police, or they might be used to it by now.
They probably wouldn't do anything, which is really scary.
Yeah, that's a shame. That would be a shame, actually.
I know. They wouldn't do anything.
I did want to ask about the name Scream Queen. Do you think sometimes it's given out too easily? Because it kind of seems like any female that's been in a horror movie will take the name Scream Queen.
Hell yes! Oh my God! It was especially like last year, taken by everybody that just put some blood on them or did a backyard movie. It was really bad. And every girl was trying to say she was a scream queen and be in some magazine and, claim she did something, and it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah. But
this year it slowed down a little.
Mm-hmm. I would think that would get on your nerves, but, I don't know.
It does. And, there's certain people that when I do conventions and stuff, mm-hmm. I don't really respect, because if they were in like a minute or less mm-hmm. of The Walking Dead, they have a table. Uh-huh. If they were the zombie in about 100 zombies, they have a table. Mm-hmm. And that really gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of conventions. I've done the panels. I interview people and stuff. And actually, one of the only people that's ever turned me down, even just for a picture, when I was walking around like covering it, was somebody who played like a zombie in one episode of The Walking Dead. And I was just thinking, like, really,
yeah,
not to be a big
yep.
But, Kane Hodder and all these people are totally cool, but it's like, come on.
I know it. And what's cool is, I can't really say names, but I'm doing a documentary, directing it and doing it on extras because they're very interesting people. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have the Kickstarter go up pretty soon, but extras fascinate me because I've been on so many sets, and extras are just the weirdest people I've ever encountered in my life.
Weird as an interesting, or weird in a bad way, or does it depend?
Interesting. The way they see what they're doing. And, there's some that are just doing it for the money, but most of them are doing it to get noticed. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I watch a movie, I watch the extras to see who's, like, kind of trying to get in the frame and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is that how it's always been, or is that something that's more common today, or?
No, it's always been like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know before my time what it was but it was always like that with extras. Since Return of the Living Dead, I remember them, mm-hmm. being like that.
Yeah. Oh, do you have any memories of the extras on Return of the Living Dead? Because there's a famous scene where you're surrounded by all the zombies when you're being eaten.
Oh yeah, I would go to art exhibitions, independent people in LA and stuff like that. And there was one lady that it was like zombies coming out on a Fangoria page. And she was on the front as a zombie, and she talked through a puppet doll on her hand, and she would always come up to me and say, "I was in Return of the Living Dead on the cover," with her puppet hand, and just go on and on about it. Mm-hmm. And it was really kind of disturbing, to see that. And, every time I saw her, I was like, oh God, I hope she doesn't recognize me. But that was her fame. I'm sure she has probably 10 magazines she got saying, "I'm on the cover."
I guess it would be fun in a way, but I could see if you take that to extremes, it's weird.
Yeah. it is when they take it to an extreme, and it, their mind becomes a lot more, there was one guy, I think it was it before Return of the Living Dead, that I was at Hollywood Book and Poster, and I was doing a signing there, and this guy came in a Popeye outfit, and he was probably about 50, and he kept saying, I'd say, "Oh, I want to hear your impression," and he would just go, "Aye, aye, aye," and he told me that he went and auditioned for, remember the Popeye and an olive oil movie?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he said he went there, and then I asked him about the outfit he's wearing, and he was like saying that he got it, but he got mustard on it, and it was just a weird conversation with him. It was really strange. I was just like, okay, and he just kept going, "Aye, aye, aye." So I don't know if it's true that he did audition or if he just thought he did.
Did you have the short hair before Return of the Living Dead, or did you cut it for Return of the Living Dead?
No, that's a wig.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they wanted me to cut it because it cost them a bunch of money, but I said no.
Yeah. Did you like that look?
Loved it. Yes, loved it.
So did you ever think of cutting it like that?
No, I did once. Oh my God, I look horrible with short hair. Oh my God. No, I did cut it once short, and it didn't suit me. And of course, it had to be on my passport for like 10 years.
Yeah, that's a shame. But we do want to mention that Kinky Fairytales is being re-released August 18th.
That's weird.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that. Is this a movie you ever thought would be re-released?
No. I mean, it's been, God, I don't know how many years, and it wasn't released. So it's like, I'm astounded it's being released now. Mm-hmm. I thought they would have done that maybe when Return came out or something like that. But this far down the line, I'm really shocked. Mm-hmm. They must be really desperate.
So, yeah, I was going to ask, like, what about it do you think, why after, it's like 38 years, I think, is, they decided to put this out again?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like I said, they must be desperate to have stuff that,
Mm-hmm. Do you remember how you got
beyond there?
How did you get involved in the movie?
I was doing modeling, and there was a casting call where it was like they wanted somebody to look young and innocent, but also say a few lines. Mm-hmm. So they called people in, and I came in, and they picked me. And I got it, and I was just so naive, and, I read through it, and I finally saw naked part, and I freaked out, and I didn't want to go back on my word or anything, and so before I had to do a naked role, I did some push-ups to get myself out of my body or whatever it is, so I could do it. I was freaked out of my mind. And then when it came out on cable, my parents got cable, and so I would scratch it off very carefully so that they didn't see it and see the movie.
Like out of the TV guide? Or?
Yeah, like a TV guide. Yeah, when there were only 3 cable channels.
Right. I remember. That's kind of a thing of the past on the TV guide, but
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know how to decipher that.
No, well yeah, it'd be 600 channels, and would have to be.
Yeah, it's it's on now. Okay, it's I don't know.
Did they ever end up seeing the movie?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, all right. No,
they saw Chainsaw Hookers, and they went to the premiere, and they loved it.
So they were cool with you being, in the horror movies.
They thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Because, they saw the press there and, just all the people there. And so, yeah, I think they knew, it was accepted.
Yeah. Now, were you a horror movie fan growing up as a kid?
Oh, my gosh, yes. I watched all the creature features with my girlfriend who would stay over and would bake pizza, which was horrible pizza, and would reenact a little bit, like Night of the Living Dead. We were laughing so hard. I mean, this is so stupid because my middle name is Barbara.
Okay.
So we'd go, I'm coming to get you, Barbara. And we just thought that was so funny.
So that's pretty cool, though, that, you that's a movie you'd have a memory of watching, when you're a kid, and then you would go on to be in Return of the Living Dead.
That is weird. You're right. That is weird. I never thought of it that way.
That's a first movie I have a memory of seeing in the drive-in. I was like 6. My mom would take me. My brother's 9 years old. We're a single mom, and she would take him to the drive-ins with his friends instead of getting a babysitter. Would take me along, and and so I remember seeing that, and I just remember and they've told me the story a million times. Is I started to cry, and it was the scene when the car blows up and the zombies are eating everybody. And my mom,
that was pretty bad. Yeah. And what'd you do? Just cried?
Well, yeah, my mom turned to me and said, "Don't worry, they're just having a barbecue." And then I was totally fine after that. So. I just thought the zombies were having a barbecue of people. So, but
that was
fine.
Horrible. That was creepy.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, like, Alfred Hitchcock Hour and just back then, The Twilight Zone. And what was that other one? Oh, God, they're back again. I can't even remember. Like, remember I told you I was going to be working this weekend?
Yeah.
I had a horrible thing happen yesterday. I've got to tell you about it and get it off my chest. I was supposed to go to the Return of the Living Dead thing. And so I got packed. I'm like gearing up to go. I get taken to the airport. They cannot find my reservation outside. So I'm like freaking out. I go inside. They cannot find my reservation. So I'm like, oh my God, I grabbed the wrong itinerary. I'm in the wrong place. I kept telling them, I've got to be somewhere. I don't know where. And so the lady finally looked, and it's next Thursday. So I ended up taking a shuttle home, just going, this sucks.
Yeah. Sorry to laugh, but yeah, that would be...
I know.
I'm sure at the time you were laughing, but now you can.
I was like freaked out of my mind. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm sure it's happened to other people, but not very many, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, at least you didn't miss it.
Exactly.
And you didn't want to just sit in the airport for a week, so it was good to go home.
No. Or get hauled up by the loony bin, me saying, I got a visa.
Correct. Or if they would have let you on somehow, and you would have been there, a week early, wherever you were going.
That would have been weird, yeah. I have a friend up there I could have stayed with, Matt Flynn, but, it's still, like, I don't know how I'd arrange that.
Right. So I saw that you have a new movie coming out soon. It's called The Barn. And
yes.
I love the poster art. And can you just let us know what that's about?
Well, it's very similar. I don't want to ruin it or anything.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Night of the Demons.
Nice.
The director and the DP are excellent. They're, really diligent. They're not just like, here's the script, and you just get one or two tries at it. It's like, we got to move on. He wants it to be totally right.
Mm-hmm. And I read an interview with him. It was in the Rue Morgue magazine, and he said that he wrote the role specifically for you.
I know. I was like, when he said that, I was like, he said when he was a kid, when he wrote it, I was like, oh my God. I was like so shocked. Mm-hmm. That shocked me.
Since he wrote it for
you. That made me feel good.
Yeah, I would assume it would. It should. That's great. And when you read it, in this role written for you, could you tell right away, like, this is something that, that I could do a good job with and you could connect with?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like I've been playing different things lately, so it wasn't a real stretch. I have got away from shower scenes, which are usually, done in this cold place or something like that, or wearing real skimpy clothing, and it's winter. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm not doing that so much anymore. Not at all, really. I'm playing like characters, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm. He said that it's like an 80s style horror film, and that's really seems like it's come back a lot lately. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just directors now, or that's what they grew up with, and and now they're the age to make movies?
That could be it, but almost everybody, not everybody, but when they come up to my table, they say, "Oh my God, I love the '80s," and these are teenagers. There was money in the '80s. Things weren't as expensive. Things were easier. People weren't as nasty and rude. And now it's just really different. Everything is like a struggle to do, money-wise. And the movies, they really cared about them. They were done on film. And there was a point where they were just flooded with really horrible films that everybody that could get hold of a camcorder did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they would like it that way again, like to be in the 80s. I would too.
How is you just mentioned there was money in the 80s. I was just wondering how is kind of like the demise of VHS and even DVD and the rise of video on demand. How has that affected someone like yourself?
It hasn't really affected me because, like vinyl, VHS is now coming back. Like the Barn is going to be in VHS and DVD. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's weird. It's coming back. Like my horror workout is on DVD. We re-released it, but this guy has it in VHS and DVD.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's weird. They just, I think the last company that made the actual VCRs just announced that they're not making them anymore. But yet, there's all these releases, and even Troma's putting out a lot of VHS tapes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the independent people because they know that the independent people appreciate VHS more.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool for a collector too. Even if you don't necessarily watch it on the VCR, to have it like on your bookshelf or something is very cool.
Yeah, ones that you really, really like.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess
it's funny though because my friend in LA, Ken Hall, like he had all these cool VHS movies, and then when DVD hit, he got all the DVDs. Then now VHS is back, and now he's got to replace all his VHSs.
Yeah, he's gonna go find them now. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did he ever get on the Blu-ray?
I don't like Blu-ray. I don't have it because for me it takes me out of the movie. It's just too in your face.
I agree with that on a lot of when they restore like movies from the 80s and 70s and they put them on Blu-ray. A lot of that stuff, they make it too bright and too clear. And it's not really how the movie was supposed to be seen. Now, if it was made specifically, for that, it's different, like a new movie. But there's a lot of stuff that kind of takes the grittiness out of a lot of movies that were made, and it kind of some of the shadows and stuff that was, in a way, meant to hide some of the things, but it gives it a different feel. And I agree with that. It does take it takes something away from a lot of the movies.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it. I mean, if you're going to do a documentary or animals or something like that, it's really good.
Right.
But when you're doing a movie, I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to ask about Silent Night, Deadly Night, because that's one of my favorite films. And when you made that, did you think like it would be so controversial when it came out? Because about the trailer and the poster about a killer Santa Claus.
Oh my God, no! I thought I was just doing another horror film, and that was it. And then I was in Mexico with Don Kelfin. We were doing this comedy called Treasure of the Moon Goddess. And my manager called me and told me that everybody was in an uproar about Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I'm like going, why? You know, it's just a horror film. And he said that because they ran a commercial with a axe and Santa, that all the mothers were upset. I guess kids had been crying. And that, I think, like Machete or something, got everybody wanting to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I remember I still watch once in a while on YouTube because Siskel and Ebert they're very upset over it, almost comically, like they're just so mad.
I wish I had that interview.
Yeah.
Or their rant.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. But it's very funny. I mean, and it's weird too because they call out the directors and the producers by name. It's almost like they want people to go get these people or something.
Oh my God! Did they really?
Yeah,
that's good publicity.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the director had previously only done Grizzly Adams or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So it was probably a stretch.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to ask what your favorite movie is, but which role is like most personal to you?
Oh boy, you mean that? It's between, because they're all different. Mm-hmm. Return of the Living Dead, Silent Night. No. Return of the Living Dead, Savage Streets, and then Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama.
Mm-hmm. Which also being re-released.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we just had Charles Band on, and that was it was either re-released this month or it's coming up soon. But yeah, it's getting a...
Oh my God, that's great. I mean, a lot of people bring that for me to sign. They really love that movie. Mm-hmm. It almost evens out with Return.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it always named that? Like when you went into audition or you saw the script, was that the name of the movie? Or was that added later?
No, it wasn't. David Dakota directed it, and he said, pick a part you want, because I'd worked with him on Creepazoids and some other films. And so I got to pick the part, of course, of Spider. So I, got that part that I really, really wanted, to play a tough girl. And that was really fun because that was the one time, I'd played the innocent, girl and, getting my head chopped off or something like that. And so this is a one to kick ass, and I loved it.
Yeah. I would just wonder about that. When did you realize it was named Sorority Babes and Slime Bowl?
I'm sorry. I didn't even answer your question.
No, it's okay.
I found that out right when they released it. But it's still the Imp in England. I was just over in the UK, and they call it the Imp because they don't have sororities there.
Right.
So, but it was called the Imp. Mm-hmm. And when I heard that it was called Sorority Babes, I hated that. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's very boring. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now I love it, the name.
Definitely, yeah. I was just, because as soon as you hear that name, it's just like, that's something I have to watch.
It took me a while to remember how to say it.
Yeah, I actually have it written down here in my notes because it's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
I met you at the conventions, and you talked about doing the conventions. What's that been like for you to meet your fans and interact with them?
It's great. I really haven't had a bad experience, so it's been really great.
Do you have any?
I really love meeting them, and there's more women now, and and people that went through the 80s, teenagers. It's like a big scope of people.
Yeah.
That I think they felt like it was bad to like that, and you should only like movies that played the theaters that everybody else said was so good. Mm-hmm. And they feel like it's cool now.
Mm-hmm. I just started going to myself, last few years, and I felt that immediately is like it's very accepting. It's all these people that have, common interests, and it doesn't matter your age or your backgrounds. Some people have tattoos, some people don't, but everyone's just accepting of everybody.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Yeah.
Do you have any like particular stories that stand out to you, like if a fan made you something or which?
Oh, yeah. When I was in Toronto, it was like the end of last year, I think it was. This fan brought me. His name is Jamie. He brought me a cake, like Night of the Demons. He had me on it, drawn with icing. And then he brought me lipstick, my shade. And I thought that was just so sweet.
Yeah. You did mention that the Quigley's horror workouts coming out again. Do you know, well, how did that come about to begin with?
We were, Ken Hall and I, who has to get VHSs now again, were like watching on Murder Weapon. David Dakota was directing it, and I was in it, and I was on a little break, and I had just done the scene where I have to take a mallet and like smash again and again and again this guy's head. And so I had to, lift it up, out of frame, into frame, out of frame, into frame, out of frame, into frame. And so Ken's like, well, now that'll be really good for video. He talks weird. I can't do him, but he said that, and we started like concocting this idea of how much work it is to be in a horror film. So that's how it was born.
That's very cool. And I have to say, when I mentioned you're coming on, so many people sent in wanting to know how your house is doing.
It's doing really good. A fan who is Donald, he donated a lot of money and helped. I mean, I was shocked. Everybody else did too. Elliot from Monster Palooza. I could go on and on and on about the people. So I don't have a huge waterfall coming into my house, which it was.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was really bad. I'd have to take, the big trash cans and everything. And it was terrible.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that everyone helped you out. I mean, just enough for your house, but I would assume, that's a good feeling knowing that people would care that much for you, that they want to help out.
Yeah. I was happy.
Yeah.
I was really happy.
So how can people follow you, not like around town, but like follow you online to find out where, where you're going to be and appearances and whatnot?
I have a site, www.linnea-quigley.com.
Excellent.
So it's Linnea-Quigley.
We'll put that up on the website. Annabelle apologized she could not be here, but
tell her I missed her.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have you back sometime if you'd be up for it, and we could talk about some of the other movies.
Oh, I'd love that.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay, it has. I will see you soon. I want to talk to you again.
Excellent.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Beverly Randolph, and you're listening to Without Your Head Horror Radio.